You're watching TV, your local news, and all of a sudden, a commercial comes up. Your local casino is advertising. Everything is peachy, nice, clean. People are dressed nice in suits. They're happy, they're smiling, they're winning. They can't believe it. It's just so clean, nice, and positive. The message on this casino commercial. Guys, casinos are the master at false advertisement. Yep. They are masters at this. Show the realities. How come they never show the realities? People crying, people pissed off, people spitting, people dropping drinks, people cursing, slamming the machines, kicking the tables, kicking the chairs. They don't show that. They don't show the realities of what goes on at these places sometimes. Sure, when you win, it can all seem like that, but the chances of winning at casinos versus the chances of you feeling terrible are much greater, right? In this video today, we're going to discuss things that I've witnessed and seen personally while playing slot machines, while playing table games at casinos, things that really stuck in my mind, okay? The stories that I can tell you guys. We're also going to discuss something that RV, you brought up a great comment and you brought up a great, topic of discussion. Why you gamble. We're going to talk about the topic of how some people go and gamble to fill a void of loneliness and boredom, which is very, very true. And I'm going to tell you why that's not really helping your cause because of the end result. Okay? We're going to talk about that too. So, I've seen crazy things happen at casinos. Crazy things. Well, you won't even believe. I don't know if you've ever seen things like this or witnessed some of the things that I'm about to tell you. But I have firsthand. I've witnessed it all. When playing the slot machines, when playing table games, by the environment, by other gamblers, by the workers. Tell you a couple of stories. All right? We'll first talk about that, then I'll get onto the topic of the void of gambling. Why people sometimes gamble. To fill that void. We'll talk about it. One time I was gambling, and all of a sudden, I've seen this happen twice actually. One being on the receiving end, and one just seeing somebody do this. Okay. One day I was playing the slots. I don't remember the game. Let me see if I could remember it. I think it was Lightning Link. Okay, it was a bank of machines where you have Lightning Link on both sides of the aisle. A set of like 7 machines on one side, a set of 7 machines on the other. A whole random, type machines. Like you got that racing game, you got the Tiki Fires, you got the Heartthrobs, Lightning Link. I'm sitting there minding my own business, playing. All of a sudden, I see something come over the machine. Some type of juice or liquid, water. I'm thinking it's water. And it just, boom, it just splashes over the machine and hits me. Hit me on my head, my shirt. And I'm like, what the hell is going on, Is there like some kind of hole in the roof or something? So I get up, tell the guy next to me to watch my machine. I turn around. All of a sudden I see this guy. He's upset, cursing. And he just left. And the cup the drink that he was drinking was on the floor. And I asked kindly the other people playing the other slots on the other side, I'm like, hey, what happened? I just felt something, some water or whatever. What was that? What was going on? And they were shocked at disbelief. They told me that the gambler, the person playing that machine, lost his money and totally just drenched the whole machine that he was playing with his alcoholic drink and threw the glass on the floor and left. So that bounced over the machine and hit me. I shook my head, couldn't believe it. The second time I witnessed something like this was when I was walking. All of a sudden I see this guy just do the same thing. I don't know who this person is. This guy gets his glass. I don't know what he's drinking. But he gets his glass and just totally just douses the machine with his drink. Boom, like that. If you notice, he just totally doused the machine and took off. So I've seen these kind of things happen. Okay. I've seen guys spit. I've seen guys kick. I've seen guys shake, slam, punch, scratch, deface a machine, kick a machine in. It's crazy to witness, guys, and this is all the realities of losing in gambling. I mean, some people can control. Like me, the way I am at casinos, I don't really take it that level. I don't take it to that extreme level. I can hold my emotions in pretty good, I always like to keep it normal and act normal when I'm losing. But some people, man, for whatever reason, and, well, I know the reason, some people are very, very frustrated at the results. They take it out on anything, everybody, and the machine themselves. You've seen these videos too, right? Where people just totally destroy the machine. And what are some of your crazy things you've witnessed people do when they lose? It's such a tense environment. It's such a bad situation where some people just can't control their anger. First of all, if you're going to do that in a casino, you shouldn't even be there. I mean, you shouldn't even be gambling. What did you expect to happen, my friend? Did you expect for you to win? No. You're taking it out on the machine, slamming it, breaking it, punching it. I literally seen a guy punch the machine so hard that his fist started bleeding. Now you tell me, is that what we see in these commercials? They don't advertise that part. They leave that part out. Why? All we can do is watch, shocked, silence, and just watch and think to ourselves, will we ever do that to ourselves? That's harmful behavior. Like I said, you shouldn't even be at a casino if you can't control your emotions like that. I've seen fights between players, especially at table games. Table games can get really nasty at times. Okay, blackjack, where the player takes it out on the dealer. I mean, the dealer has nothing at all to do with your cards. Don't blame the dealer. Blame the game. Dealer has nothing to do with it, guys. They're making a paycheck. These dealers need to be better trained to diffuse a situation. Some of these dealers, first of all, they don't gamble. Okay, these dealers don't gamble. I don't know if they gamble outside of their own casino, but you have to really realize what's going on here and try to diffuse a situation as much as you can. Some of these dealers they double down on the anger of the player. All right, some of these dealers take it upon themselves to make fun of the player. I've seen dealers say stupid things to players, antagonizing them even further, and making the whole situation, worse. The player's already going through a tough time, and you're dousing gasoline on the fire. Okay, you need to diffuse the situation, not make it worse. So I've seen verbal fights from player to player, table games. Why are you betting this? Why did you stand? Why did you hit? It's so crazy at the things we witness at these casinos. I mean, different people go there, Some people go there, they don't even play. They just, have you ever noticed people like walking around the casinos looking at machines and trying to find Tito's that were left in machines and just cashing them out and taking them? I had a guy once it wasn't the guy, it was a lady, witnessing them cashing out my ticket. I stood up, went to get my coffee. At my local casino, there is these ladies that push carts, and they offer you drinks, coffee, drink, soda, whatever, right? So I get up, and the lady couldn't bring the cart next to where I was playing, so I had to get up and walk over to the end of the aisle to get my coffee. All of a sudden, I see this lady walk on over, and I'm just like, whatever, right? I have like, I don't know, $15 in the machine. And she's attempting to cash out my ticket. I'm like, hey, what are you doing? Like, what are you doing? I'm playing there. What are you trying to do? Oh, okay. She looks at me. She goes, I thought this was my machine. When thieves get caught in the act, okay, when they get caught doing something that they shouldn't, they act dumb, they play stupid, they give all kinds of excuses. I thought this was my machine. Oh, she goes, thought this was my machine. Oh, the wrong aisle. Give me a break, right? Really, lady? Really? You're there to steal people's tickets? I mean, it's a free-for-all, guys. It's a real free-for-all at casinos sometimes. You have to really watch what's going on. There's people that walk around and want to steal it from you. Serious. And they call them, what do they call them? Somebody had a term for these people. Bandits? Tito bandits? Things happen all the time. The worst is when they start blaming you at a table game for either A, making a wrong decision on a blackjack hand, or B, taking your sweet ass time making a decision, Funny little story, guys. We can talk with our neighbors. Conversations get friendly on blackjack. Especially when everyone's winning and the dealer's busting. Everybody's happy. Everybody's friendly. So sometimes players make broker deals, saying, "Hey, you don't have enough for a double down." You ask your neighbor, "Hey, you want to double? Let's double together," right? One time I was in that situation where I had a really good double down hand. And I do that too sometimes. Hey, you want in on the action? I'm just going to hit. But if you want to double, you can go ahead and do that. Now, some casinos have a problem doing that. You're not supposed to ask your neighbor for money, or you're not supposed to, go, 50-50 on a hand. As long as the dealer doesn't see the chips being, shared like that. Some dealers ask for, you not to show them under the table. You could slip the chip in. They're okay with that. Some casinos are lenient. Some casinos don't like that. One time I didn't have enough to double, and I asked my neighbor, I go, "Hey, I thought he was a cool guy. So I go, hey, you want to double? You want to come in with this? I don't have enough to double, but I'm going to double for less. But if you want to do it, you can do this hand. Double situation, six showing for the dealer. I had an 11. He goes, sure. Tosses me the chips. Dealer didn't say anything. Boom. We end up losing the hand, and he regretted it. He really regretted giving me that chip. I'm like, hey man, this is blackjack. I offered. You went along with it, and it's not my fault we lost. It's really not my fault we lost. So after that, I really rarely do that anymore. I just don't want to get involved with other players. I don't want to hear it. I don't want them blaming me for anything. So what I thought was me doing them a favor by offering that double down didn't work out. So hey, they said, what the hell, Some people are cool with it. They understand that we can lose, but some people, they're not. And they think that, what did I just do there? So just stay away from that. But as far as bad behavior in casinos, man, we see this all the time. Like, we see it all the time. Gambling and losses can really make somebody do something that they normally wouldn't do. Just the frustration level, the anger that you see other patrons, portray is just embarrassing sometimes. Like, do you act this way outside of the casino? Like, I would hate to be your neighbor. Or like, what are you doing? Like, what are you doing? Everybody's trying to enjoy themselves, and you're there pounding on the machine, cursing at everything that walks, everybody that walks, and people snapping, people getting mad. So things can get crazy. So when these casinos advertise, it's all joy and happiness, and everybody's happy. They never show the bad side of this thing. They never show the depression, the crying, the negative impacts that this has. I bet you if they did, well, it wouldn't make sense to do that, but you never see the realities of gambling. That's the whole point I'm trying to make. You never see the realities of what this thing can do to humans and their behavior. Some people can't control their behavior. As much as I've lost at casinos, and some days I've lost big, I've never displayed a situation where I was out of control. I never displayed that kind of horrible side, that comes out. I always kept it inside of me, and I understood that I made the wager. Nobody forced me to make this wager. So taking it out on the casino and the machine, hey, the only thing you can do is stop going there. Just stop going there. You don't like it, don't go there. That's it. It's your fault. Who else's fault is it? So, yeah, you see these things happen, and it's like, it blows me away sometimes and the casinos, they know everything that's going on there. They know everything that's going on there. And this bad behavior can be displayed not only with gamblers, but employees as well. Employees can really have a stick up their asses sometimes, okay? Quick little story on this. Remember that story I told you about a week ago about how the gift shop had a bad situation at the gift shop? Well, see, my player's card was worn out so much that it was peeling. It was peeling, and I decided to peel the color out. Okay, I peeled it. It was diamond. Diamond at my local casino is gray. So I peeled it out of the card. And the card, when you peel it off, your name comes out. Still says the name of the casino, but it looks actually cooler than it was before. It's like a shiny platinum color. It still works. I mean, when you scan it, it will work. It will show your member ID. It will show your name. You have to show ID to use perks at the casino anyway. I got my ID, And when you scan it, it'll show my member ID. And on top of all that, I have my app. I have my app open. Here, this is me, blah, blah, blah. That's the card. Now, before this situation happened, I was okay. Everywhere I used my card, whether it was the buffet, whether it was the gift rewards booth, anywhere I used my card where people needed to see ID, they were okay with it. Because if they weren't okay with it, I would show my app. And they would say, okay, that's you. In this particular situation, this is the first time it happened to me, where I just ended up a bad day at the casino, lost money, was pretty upset, keeping it inside. I wasn't kicking anything or cursing at anybody. But I went to get some stuff at the gift shop, okay? And in order to do that, like I said, you have to turn in your points to a gift card. So I walk in there and I'm ready to do that. I give him my card, and for whatever reason, that worker at that gift shop decides to be an a-hole about things, decides to really say, sir, you got to go get a new card. I'm like, what? Why? I'm like, I like the card I have. I like it. It looks cool. What's the difference? You scan it, you see my name on there. I could show you my app. That's me. Here's my ID. Nope, sir, you got to go get a new one. And to make matters worse, I go, well, first of all, I go, sure, I'll go get a new one, because the rewards booth was not too far from the gift shop. I go, no problem. I wasn't trying to be an ass. I said, okay, fine. If that's the way it is, this is my first time anybody has made an issue about my card. I'll do that. Well, sir, I can't give you your card back. I'm like, what? No. I'm like, give me my card back. I like that card. I think it looks cool. I can't give it to you. I think to myself, what the hell is going on here? All right. So I turn around and say, look, I'm okay with me go getting a card. That's fine. You want a new card, I'll go get one. But you wanting to confiscate the card that I like to use, that's wrong. So I tell him, hey, you're being a real prick right here. Okay, you are abusing your position. Okay, you're trying to have some kind of power, authority over me, and you're purposely upsetting me and pissing me off even further. So kindly give me my card back. No, this, that. So I get into somewhat of an argument with him. I tell him, look, this is the first time anybody has ever caused an issue with this. If you scan it, you'll see my name. Even if everything lines up, he still wanted to be an ass. He still wanted to abuse his power and have this power trip over me. Okay? For whatever reason, he wanted to feel superior at that position of being in front of the cash register with the other ladies next to him. And it made him feel so good to tell me these kind of things. I turn around, like I said, I'm just giving him crap at this point. I'm like, look, dude, you're just being an a-hole. You should be real proud of yourself. You're a real good employee, I bet you, right? I go, you're the employee of the month here, right? You're doing your job. He goes, oh, I'm just doing my job. Yeah. I'm like, you are. You're doing your job. You're doing your job. And I go, by the way, anybody I ask that uses my card for the perks, that scans the card and looks at my ID, all the information is in the computer, they're okay with it. But you have to have this situation to just piss me off even further. I just had a bad session on the slot machine, and I don't want the ugly side of me coming out, I don't want the ugly side of me coming out. I was restrained. I was trying to just, every negative thing that he would tell me, I would just reply with some kind of kindness, until he told me that he needed to confiscate my card. That's what kind of set me off and say, you're just taking this further than it should be. Okay, you must be real proud of yourself. You're a real prick. I told him, you're a real a-hole. I told him, when you go home today, think about what you did here. Think about this unnecessary action that you took and the things that you told me. I really did. I walked out, got my new card, took it to the gift shop. I purposely didn't go next to this guy and used it, whatever, got my business done at the gift shop. And guess what I did? I wanted to be a prick to him too. Guess what I did? Hey, I go, check this out. I, peeled the new card in front of his face. Boom. Guess what? You like that? I told him. You like that? Hey, man. He wanted to confiscate that. I just walked away. I did that on purpose, guys, because that was totally unnecessary. He was at wrong here. I ask anybody, I ask them, hey, if my details come up when you scan this player's card that has no name on it, and my information comes up, can you use this card with my license? And even if I have my app open and I'm going to show you my player ID that I am diamond status, yeah, they go, that's fine. It's fine. So yeah, I believe he was in the wrong, and I just wanted to get the last jab in there before I walked away. He was chirping still when I was walking away, but I totally ignored him and walked away. What is he going to do? Come after me? Get security after me? Screw that high horse that guy walked in with, Screw that guy. He was riding high until I embarrassed him right there, right then and there. I embarrassed him. I wanted to get the last jab in because what he did totally pissed me off. Things like this happen at casinos, guys. I'll set you off, You go in there thinking you have a really good, day starting. Whatever happens, something sets you off, Somebody gives you a bad look. Somebody gives you a bad attitude. Somebody fights over parking. Security guard hassles you. Another player takes your machine. Yeah, that happened that same day too. You heard about it, right? I mean, there are people out there at casinos that really purposefully just watch what you do and hoping you trip up so they can totally take your seat. And for whatever reason, they think that, hey, those perceived progressions are going to pop right now. Those perceived progressions are going to pop. And when you get up from a machine that has, a full mountain of gems, or the knobs on hot pots are turned all the way up, they think that, hey, they have a better shot at a bonus. Guess what? You don't have a better shot at anything. It's just perceived progression. But there are people that believe that. So they're just, walking around waiting for somebody to get up because they witnessed hundreds of dollars in the machine and they think that machine is ready to be paid out. And this is reality. This really happens. Okay, so it pissed me off when that lady took my seat. I was gone for 30 seconds. And I come back and I was shocked that she took my seat. And I was like, hey, get out, get up. The funny thing about that whole situation, and I'll tell you in a minute, nobody was around us when we had that, encounter with that lady. When I had that encounter with that lady, there was nobody around us. That whole bank of machines were empty. It was just me and the lady. 5 seconds or 10 seconds in that argument, all of a sudden we get security coming. And I was thinking to myself, how did they find out that we were arguing? Are they tracking us somehow? Are they watching our every move? Because I was so shocked to see how fast the manager, security came to the slot machine. Do they have microphones set up everywhere? Are they watching everyone's move at all times? Because it really seemed like that was the case. How'd they know we were arguing? How did they know we were about to, I was telling her to leave, this, that. They just swarmed the area. Have you ever noticed they try to diffuse this, they try to sweep these kind of things under the rug as much as they can. And they try to diffuse the situation. Hold on, guys. Why is my... Okay, never mind. I was wondering why my car is not responding to my actions. Another rainy day here, guys, but I thought I'd make a video today. I can't wait for the storms to be over, where we can go and actually walk, talk, do different kind of videos. Me back in the studio and doing other things, but this will have to do. I was shocked at the fact that how they swarmed the area. How did they all of a sudden know we were having issues? Are they using some kind of surveillance that really they monitoring us at every turn? I was shocked at that. They came, they gave me crap. They're like, sorry, sir, you forfeited the machine. Lady took my money. I don't know what she did with it. So I guess at this casino, you are screwed. When they take your ticket, you are pretty much, there's nothing you can do. There's nothing they can do, too. So, I don't know. Had that ticket been a big ticket, I would have caused a stink. I really would have. No, there's no way someone's stealing hundreds of dollars from me. It was $5 or $6. I didn't care. I was already upset. But if had that been over 100 or 50, that's not right. Having your ticket stolen like that. Let me know if you have issues like that, or you've had your ticket stolen. And did the casino help you? Or did they say there's nothing they can do about it? Ridiculous. So, yeah, these advertisements, and don't fall for them, guys. They are masters at marketing, and they really know how to make the things look great. I mean, they really don't look that great when you get there. There's trash all over the place. There's drinks. There's spilled drinks. There's bad orders. Just people that you really would not... I don't know, like... There's people with issues at casinos, big time. And they're not afraid of displaying those issues. And throwing it and letting you be a part of those issues. And I really don't want to be part of your issue. I don't want to be part of your the negative thing that you're going through that day. Don't rub your negativity on me. Don't ruin my day with your bullshit, Don't give me attitude because you're losing. Don't do this, don't do that. I don't want to hear it, Don't affect my mood, If there's something I can do to help you, if you come and you ask me something, sure, I'll be nice about it. But if you're rude to me and you're rude to everybody else around me, then taking it out on every little thing because you're losing, how else do you want me to respond to what I see? So let's talk about how long we've been recording here, guys. Oh yeah, right. All right, now let's talk about this other topic that I wanted to talk about, the feeling the void. Some people gamble because they're lonely. Some people gamble because they're bored, and they just want to fill that void of boredom. And gambling and casinos makes them feel better at that and fills that void. Cures their boredom, cures their loneliness for whatever amount of time that they're at, gambling. I'll say a couple of things on this topic. You were bored before you walked into the casino. You're not bored playing the machines. I get it. But then when you stop, when that high is over, you go back to your boredom. Nothing has really changed somewhat. Actually, it made it worse because you were at this high while you were at the casino, win or lose, then all of a sudden, boom, you're back down to where you were. One thing I'd say about feeling a void of loneliness and boredom, losing, doesn't that make your loneliness worse after the fact? losing your money. You're worse off now. You were lonely and bored, but with a lot more money in your pocket, versus when you went to the casino, thought that that would fill the void somehow. But how do you feel coming home with less money? This is, of course, I take it that you lose. Winning can heal a lot of problems. Winning can make you feel good, obviously. But if winning was the case the majority of the time, then we'd all do this all the time. But the losing is what happens, So how does that make you feel? How does that cure your boredom and loneliness with less money in your pocket after the fact? Now you have the negative side of losing money when gambling to tackle too. Your loneliness is back, your boredom is back, and you're poor because of that. How does that make you feel now? Tackle that onto your other issues that you're having. So I don't think that gambling is the right way to fill those voids of loneliness and problems at home. And I don't know, you might have girlfriend issues, you might have some kind of issue that you want to forget, you want it to be therapy for you. Fine. I'm talking about the people I'm not talking about the multi-millionaires that gamble and really it doesn't affect their finances. I'm not talking about those people. I'm talking about your everyday, working man or woman that if a trip to the casino and losing $1,000 is going to affect their pocketbook, it's going to affect their mood. That's the people that I'm talking to right now. How is that going to fill your void, RV? You left this comment. This is a great topic to talk about. You left this comment and I'm like, whoa, stop right there, RV. Stop right there. This is not a cure for what you're going through. This is not a cure. Have you tried other things to cure your boredom, to help you with that? Have you tried hobbies that you might want to get into? Have you tried video games? Have you tried that? Don't think of video games as something that only teenagers play. You can also buy nice games that make you really think, like adventure games were cool, solving mysteries. If you're into that, you can buy video games and play with those, and to help you with that kind of boredom. You can do other things, man. Take up exercise or watch a movie. Or I don't think the issue is boredom with you, bro. I think the issue is that you're addicted to gambling. Nothing else satisfies your high. Your high, nothing else comes close to your high. That's the issue you're having. Not because you're bored, not because it's it's helping you with your boredom. The problem with you, RV, is that you're not finding something to substitute the highs that you get gambling. You try doing other things to fix your boredom or your loneliness, but it doesn't give you that same fix. It doesn't give you that same high that gambling at casinos do. It doesn't quite scratch that itch. I know how it feels. I know what you're talking about. Only gambling and casinos gives you that high, that happipiness. So the issue is that dopamine. The issue is that feeling you get at casinos. That's the issue. Because if it was only for finding something to do because you're bored, there's so many things for you to do, man. So many things. Even being alone, you can do a lot of things. Try not to be alone. Your loneliness, there's people that want to hang out. There's people that want to associate with other people. Maybe you're an introvert. You're not really a people's person. You don't trust anybody. You don't want to be around people. But then you say you're lonely, Maybe that's the issue. You need to find that happy medium somehow. Gambling gives you a rush that a coke addict, a drug addict, can only experience without doing the drugs. And I understand the feeling, I understand how that makes people feel. Other things don't give you that same dopamine hit. Other things don't give you that same high. Watching a movie doesn't do it for you. Walking through the neighborhood doesn't do it for you. Shopping doesn't get it done for you. It's the gambling. It's the games with money and chance. Playing games. Yeah, I get it. Playing games that have no money involved, that can be boring. That cannot be the same thing as playing games where there's a chance for you to win money. Just like playing poker and you're playing with like rocks. That's not going to be the same as playing with money. Obviously, it's not going to give you the same incentive and the same high that you get with playing, with betting something of value, right? So I totally understand that. So you need to break that habit of that high. That's what you need to break, okay? You need to find something that gives you that same rush without gambling and losing money. Can this be done? Sure. It can be done by you taking a break, letting your batteries recharge and your mind reset, your mind heal. Over time, your mind will heal and not crave those highs, those dopamine hits. I look at it the same way as your body adjusting to the food that you eat. When you're eating food that's high in carbs, the bad carbs I'm talking about, the sugars, your body's used to all that junk food, and your body's used to all that, stuff that you're putting in it that is necessarily not good for your health. But when you start eating clean and when you start eating less carbs to kind of like start making your body lose the fat, your body's not used to it. So your body it's hard to start a new diet because your body is used to all that sugars and all that processed food that you're used to feeding it, right? Same thing with gambling. You need to let your mind you need to let your mind reset a little bit, okay? That dopamine effect, you need to let your mental state with the cravings of those highs kind of heal, because then you will start feeling enjoyment from other hobbies. Then you will start feeling the just by taking a walk and enjoying the neighborhood and the nature, that might give you that same rush after you let your mind heal from those dopamine rushes that you get from casinos. You need to take a step back from the game and just stay away from it for a while, because your mind is so used to that all the time, those spikes of dopamines that you don't get from other things. Same thing with food. You get that spike of dopamine. You get that spike of like feeling good eating that greasy cheeseburger that tastes so good, melts in your mouth, and then it's bad for you, but you the chili cheese fries and that greasy whatever it is on those chocolate pies or those chocolate cakes, cherry pies, that sweetness that you get. I know that I have a sweet tooth like crazy, and I know how that can get. And so even especially when I've been not eating it for a while, like yesterday we had dessert after their Christmas dinner. We had a dessert, and I was like, ooh, this is so good. It was overpowering my palate. It was overpowering how I felt eating that, because I had been away from it for a little while. So same thing with the gambling rushes and then the dopamines. You got to stay away for a little bit. Then you'll start enjoying the other things that'll make you feel better. That gives you rushes now. Example, I bring the food up again. When I stay away from the chocolates and all that strong, feeling good triggers in brain that, gives you eating a piece of See's candy or chocolate cake. But when I'm away for a while and I eat a banana and cherries or something, or watermelon, then my body's like, oh, this is sweet. This apple is sweet. because your mind resets. Your mind heals from that chocolate. Now the good stuff is giving you that same high. Obviously it's not as strong, but it's still giving you that same effect because you let your mind reset. You let your mind kind of like heal those hits that you really need right now from the casino, that dopamine hits all the time. That's why you're having a hard time right now finding something to substitute your habits of gambling. That's why gambling can only fix your loneliness and your boredom. Everything else is just boring for you because your mind is so used to those extremes. That's what's going on here, RV. You see? That's what's going on here. So you really need to stay away from it for a little while, so you could start enjoying the other things that will give you the same amount of enjoyment and, not feeling bored again. Because right now, only slots can make you feel good. Only blackjack tables can make you feel good. Only the numbers, the lights, the thing. Even if you're losing, you don't want to let that go because you love the highs. You don't mind losing right now because you're still in that environment. It's making you fill in that void. But what happens when you come off that high, come home, the next morning when you don't have the casino around you? Guess what? You're crashing. You're crashing. You always want that. Like a drug addict always wants his fix. A coke, his heroin addict, they wants to shoot up. Whatever it is, marijuana, you always want to be high. You always want to get drunk. You can't function without being drunk. I used to be a heavy drinker. I know. I always needed that drink. Before I'd go into a social environment, before I'd walk into any store to shop, whatever, I needed to be buzzed. I needed to be lit. I needed to be drunk. Or like buzzed. I needed that buzz before I'd actually just walk out of the house. I wouldn't be having fun without being buzzed. It wasn't fun for me to go out and shop only and be sober. I had to be buzzed being sober or drunk because it made me feel better. It made me feel high. It made me feel like a superhero. But guess what? Guess what, RV, and everybody else that's listening to this message? Guess what? When you come off that high, it's the worst crash in the world. It's like you hitting that brick wall. When I was drunk, coming off that, and I was feeling sober, I didn't feel good because I wanted to always be drunk. I didn't feel good. And now, after I've stopped drinking, I don't even want to touch alcohol. I really don't. I don't want to touch it. A walk, across the around the block gives me that dopamine hit now, that high. That gives me that buzz because I have a goal. I have this thing that I want to reach. It's keeping myself occupied if I'm bored. No, I'm looking at results. I'm seeing things. I'm feeling better. That's giving me that new dopamine hit that cheeseburger did before. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, that's what my take on this. Now, loneliness. When you say loneliness, I mean this can be a very not controversial, but it could be a very touchy subject for people. Why are you lonely? Did you lose a spouse? Did you break up with somebody? Are you like somebody that doesn't have a family? Are you living away from your family members? Are you an introvert? Are you having trouble associating with other people? I don't know if you're a single young dude. Are you having trouble getting dates? What is it? Why are you lonely? Did you lose your girlfriend or wife? And if that's the case, that's hard to deal with sometimes. I understand that. Maybe you have a wife and you're fighting with her all the time and you just want to you're not getting that love. It could be many different things, that you're experiencing the loneliness, It could be many different things. It could be your personality. You just don't get along with people. People don't get along with you. Something maybe you need to change. I know from experience, And again, I bring this weight loss thing up. Guys, I'm going to be real honest with you guys, okay? It's going to be hurtful, I know, but this is the reality of life. This is the facts of life, okay? If you're a person that's, and this is only if you're a person that's trying to find date, okay? And you're trying to get with a girl that you like, and you're trying to, like, be with somebody, have a relationship, have love, make love, do these things, and your loneliness because of that. You're lonely because of that, and you can't seem to find somebody to be with you. And because maybe like you're overweight, maybe you just don't take care of yourself, maybe you don't cut your hair or whatever, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, maybe that's the case. I'm just trying to be, I'm being real, guys. Like, working out, wearing nice clothes, feeling good not only makes you look better and more appealing to others, but it makes you feel good. It makes you more confident. Your mind, you're clear, you're more confident. You can get dates now. You're wearing nicer clothes. Like, when you're a fat guy, it's hard to find nice clothes. I always say this. It's really hard to find nice things to wear for cheap, even, right? You got to go to the big and tall section. They don't have really good things to wear. It's just one example of what I'm bringing up here. But when you're in shape and you're not overweight and you're feeling good, you can buy nicer clothes. You can buy clothes on deals. There's more sizes for you now. You look better. When you dress up, you look better. You feel better about yourself. You get dates now. You have a nice, clean cut, shaven haircut, whatever. You start feeling good about yourself. And you necessarily don't have to be a rich guy to get, to hook up with somebody, to be loved. No, you could be a nice person. And for those of you thinking that, you're saying something very shallow, you're saying something that's hurtful. No, I'm not, because I've been there. I know how it feels. I'm not. It's reality. It's reality of things, guys. This is a reality of life. People want to be attracted to the person that they are dating. They you know what I'm saying? You got to take care of yourself. Hey, I can talk about this because, hey, I am that. Nobody wants to date a fat slob. I'm just being real. Like, nobody. You can take care of that. You can take care of that. Especially if you're young. I understand if you're older, you're in your 60s, 70s, I get it. Even then, though. But if you're in your 20s, man, you're just getting life started and you want to date and you don't want to be lonely again, you got to take care of yourself. That's just the hard knocks truth. I'm just being real. I can't sugarcoat it. Because when I was 190 pounds, when I lost all the weight in 2020, I was feeling good, man. I was feeling good. You get more jobs, you get more respect. You have more ability to do things. Everything starts working better as far as, like, you know what I mean? Like, everything starts, you start breathing better, you can run, you can perform in whatever duties that you're performing in, all the pipes work great, but when you're overweight, when you're eating bad stuff, when you're not in shape, things can get a little hampered. So if I'm in my 20s, that's the first thing I want to correct, is I want to be in tip-top shape, dude. I want to be in shape. I don't want to eat junk food, That's the first thing that I'm going to do. Even in your 30s, even in your 40s, even in your 50s. There's a lot of people in their 50s and 60s that are not married, that don't have girlfriends, but they want to date. Maybe you meet somebody that really loves you, and, she can give you new ideas. She can help you, or he could help you not be bored anymore. You don't need to gamble because you met this person that you're having fun with. You don't need to gamble anymore. She is doing everything for you and giving you all that energy and all that dopamine. She or he is giving that to you because now you're dating them. Now they're in your lives. And this is only, I'm just talking about the people that this is that issue. This is their issue, okay? Loneliness, finding somebody. Man, this is not love line here, guys. I don't know. I'm talking about something that is real. I'm talking about something that really happens here, and it could hurt to hear this, but it's true, guys. People respect people more when they see that they can take care of themselves physically. And that is a direct result of taking care of themselves mentally. When you're physically fit and feeling good, mental, you're physically fit too there. It helps with the mental side of things too. You're feeling better, you're looking good. You look better when you're in shape. You look better. Now, some of you guys say, yeah, that's something, you shouldn't even be talking about that. That's something personal. No, it's the realities of life. When you walk into a place and you look good, you're in shape, you're wearing nice clothes, you're looking like $1 million, you're going to get that job. Who are you going to hire if you're a boss? Like, honestly, I know all this stuff they talk about, equal opportunity employer, this, that. But if you have a business and you're looking to hire somebody, are you going to hire somebody? They both have the same skill set. The two people they both have the same, they're great at what they do. Well, who are you going to hire more? The person that's able to carry on and be strong and in shape and taking care of themselves? Or are you going to hire that fat slob that really just doesn't comb their hair, comes in smelly, torn this, torn that, bad attitude? Because let me tell you something. When you're overweight, you have a bad attitude. Your attitude, yeah, you do. I mean, your attitude is bad because not all the time, but you're emotionally you're emotional. You don't have those things that somebody that is in shape, that feels good, that doesn't have. Now, obviously, there are some exceptions to the rule where you can be in shape and still have issues. Obviously, yes, that's the case. But a lot of times, those things happen when you are, not looking great and not in shape. So, and when I say in shape, I don't mean Arnold Schwarzenegger, buff, six-pack. No. But, guys, remember life? Or if you don't remember this, remember, it's in pictures. Life in the 50s, 60s, 70s. People were all skinny. If you notice, people were skinny. There was no overweights. Rarely you see overweight people back when I used to go to elementary. I know I'm going off on a big tangent here, but this all is tied into your boredom and your feeling that void and this, that. But when I used to go to elementary, okay, there was only a handful of kids in my class that were overweight. There was no smartphones. There was no, tablets or this. Social media didn't even exist. The social media that we did do was social. We actually socialized with people in person. Yeah, that's a thing, right, kids? So, now it's exact opposite. You look in the classroom, and there's only a handful of kids that are not overweight and fat, but the majority of the kids are all overweight. So things have switched, turned upside their head. And a lot has to do with being inactive. A lot has to do with not socializing. A lot has to do with the food that the manufacturers put in these processed foods, the sodas, this, that, the not being active. A lot of it has to do with that. Why things changed all of a sudden from decades ago? Why is there so many people that are overweight in America? So maybe that is causing your part of being lonely and part of you not being happy. Because when you find somebody that you really care about, when you find somebody that really, your life partner, and again, this could be something that is not your issue. This can be somebody that you might have lost your loved one and now you're lonely. I'm just talking to the people that are lonely because they have a hard time finding somebody and adjusting their attitude. And maybe they are bad attitude people that people don't want to be around these people because they don't know how to act next to other people, people, because people have to be really wanting to be next to you, to be next to you. I'm not talking about if you're a billionaire, that you can get dates like this. Right? It's not about the money, man. It's about loving who you're with, So anyway, I don't want to talk about this because this is not this type of channel, but it's something to talk about when it comes to life, when it comes to being human, when it comes to life in general. This is hard facts. This is something that you might not want to hear. It might sound shallow, but it's reality. Take care of yourself before you can take care of others. Take care of yourself. I've been there. I'm almost, I'm not even there yet. I know how it feels like to be that person that's 190 pounds, and I know that person, I know how it feels like to be that person that's 300 pounds. So I know the differences. I lived through those differences. I see it. I'm not stupid. People don't take you seriously when you walk into an establishment and you're 300 pounds. They just don't. I mean, they think that you're weak. They think that you have a problem. And obviously there are people that have chronic issues with weight. I'm not a doctor, so I can't comment on the chronic side of being way overweight. And they have issues of losing weight. But a lot is tied to emotional eating. A lot is tied to not taking care of yourselves. A lot is tied to eating more calories than you should. So I'm only speaking to those people. I'm not speaking to the people that are chronically ill because they just can't lose weight. They're just gaining weight because of a disease or something. I don't know about that too much to comment on it. So I'm just talking about the people that can't control it, that have the power to lose weight. Now, me right now, I know the feeling of being in shape, being that 185 pound guy, because I was once, to being that 305 pound guy that I was once too. Right now, I'm right in between. I'm transforming. I'm going the side of 190 again. So it feels good. And I can talk about it. I have the right to talk about it because I was that guy. I am that guy. I can talk about it. Okay? I can say I was a fat man. Or I'm a fat man. Fine. I can say that because right now I kind of am still. So I don't care if I'm offending anybody. I'm not, because I'm living through it. But I'm just giving you some hard facts. What time is it, man? I think this is a long one. What is it? An hour? Okay, we gotta go. Anyway, RV, hopefully this helps. See what I just done there? I took a comment that I read this morning and I made it into a talking point. Not a talking point, but I made it into a topic, and it was so interesting that I made a video about it. And this is what I mean when I say you guys are the cornerstone of this channel. You guys is what that makes this channel tick. I'm just a messenger here, guys. I'm just giving you my ideas and thoughts on what you guys give me. But this is a perfect example of what I mean by when I say this is your channel and is my channel as well. So big difference, right? Perfect example. Thank you, RV, for bringing this topic up. I might have said some things here that are controversial to some people. Maybe some people disagree with me. Maybe some people are just like, hey, this is you're really you hit the nail in the head here. Or maybe some people might say, hey, you really offended some people here. No, I didn't offend anybody. I know what it feels like, okay, to be on that other side. I know it feels like, I know how it feels to be in shape too. And by the way, guys, anybody that's offended, I'd rather be that guy that's in shape. I don't know anybody that said, hey, I want to be fat. Nobody says that. Oh, I want to be overweight, plus size, this, that. I don't want to be that. Do you? That's bullshit if you do. It's not good for your health, first and foremost. Don't you want to be around for years and years and years to enjoy life? If you have kids especially, don't you want to get healthy? Don't you want to be in shape? I mean, right? Do it for your health, first and foremost. Don't think about the other stuff, which I mentioned here, looking good, dressing nice, whatever, socially accepted. But do it for that. Do it for your health, because you can move around faster. You could perform in whatever you're doing better. I'm telling you the truth. I mean, that's just reality. And if you're getting offended by it, I think you're not. I'm just giving you a dose of reality, guys. There's too many things that are bad for us as far as eating goes. But we can really take control back, and we can really lose weight. We can really stop gambling. We can really have more money in our pockets. It's all on us. It's all in the power that we have to change. You want to see results, you need to change. See, that's the problem with most people. They want to see results without changing. They want to continue doing the same old thing, but see results. You're not going to see results like that. No one's going to hand you something in your hand and say, here, go. No, you got to work hard for it. That's what I am. I work hard for everything that I've accomplished. I've worked hard for everything that I've done in life. It wasn't handed to me. Nothing has been handed to me. I've always had to work hard for it. So put your mind, into it. You can accomplish pretty much everything in this life if you put your hard efforts and mind into it. Yeah, even quitting gambling, If you look at everything in life, and all the challenges people have in life, even like, bad health, chronic diseases, whatever, right? Everything in life. Gambling addiction is way down there. You can overcome this. Anyway, this video is long. I really got into it. I like talking about that topic because I'm living through it now, about losing weight and feeling better. I really like talking about this topic. And yes, it is tied to gambling, because when you're in shape, your decisions are better. I'm telling you, when you're lighter in the scale, and when you look, when you're feeling good and not have to deal with heartburn anymore, not have to deal with snoring anymore, which, by the way, being 45 to 50 pounds less, I don't snore anymore. I don't have heartburn anymore. Things can get easier. Things will only get easier from here on out. So thanks for watching, listening. Storytime slots. I said a lot today, but let me know in the comments what you think, and if you agree with me and if you disagree with some of the things I said. Because I'm an open book here, guys, and I'm not a stubborn, hard-headed person either. If I see that there's something that I said that maybe wasn't the right thing to say, I don't mind admitting it. I'm not a know-it-all, and I hate know-it-alls, by the way. I hate people that know it all. I used to have a friend like that was know-it-all, and I just said, you know what, you're a piece of crap. Everything that he was never wrong. He was always right. Even when he was wrong, he was right. And he knew everything and you didn't. Anybody have issues like that with people? So there's a lot of people like that in life. So time to go. We'll see you on the next video. Storytime slots. Like, subscribe, share. We'll see you next time. Have a good one. Bye-bye. Let me know in the comments. See ya.